Hey guys, I got a great idea. What if we take a unit that we've never used in any content whatsoever and just throw it into GuildWar without checking anything at all? I think things will work out just fine. What could possibly go wrong? Well, to go ahead and just spoil it for you now, not much really goes wrong. Lethe, whatever the hell everybody wants to call her. I guess I'm just going to follow the particular trend that everybody's calling her. Everybody seems to agree on Lethe. Every time I see that particular name, I'm immediately brought back to Fire Emblem 9 and 10, which, if you don't remember those are the Lilias games. And I just immediately think of the cat girl. The one racist cat girl. Great character. Just fucking hates people. But either way, we're not here to talk about Fire Emblem. We're here to talk about Epic 7. So we have Lethe, we have Arowell, and we have Roana, and we're just basically going into, like, somewhat of a cancer comp, this being Lilias, Senya, and Choux. And, of course, it's a Senya and a and a Lilias comp, but once again, what the fuck, like, particular comp is there? Like, every single time I fight these damn things, it is always a matter of, oh yeah, like, the Lilias will always go first, and then we're never really going to have to worry about, like, big boy damage that's going to happen from stealing the attack buff from Senya and, like, her own attack stats. Now, keep that in mind, because later we will actually see something that will surprise you. But all in all, we're basically going into Lilias, Senya, and Choux. So what was my initial plan here? So first and foremost, I was going to have Arowell here basically just as the forefront of tank ability because of Escort just being unbelievably fucking broken. If you want to know something that would be even funnier, if I actually had a means of building Eaton would also be another really fun character to throw into this. But I don't really have him built yet. We'll work on it. It's going to happen. Eaton's actually mad-based. I really actually kind of like the character. But the other thing that, like, makes Arowell really, really based as well is if you happen to also have a little bit of effectiveness on the character, then whenever you see the Senya go in, you actually have a pretty good chance of being able to strip her buffs. And that also really just depends on the Senya in general. You could be fighting an effect res Senya, you could be fighting just a pure effectiveness Senya, you could be fighting an annoying as fuck Senya that doesn't have the EE for attack buff and is just going to be stealing HP with the EES1. Either way. So, the one thing that I really wanted to try out here is basically just, I didn't get a lot of opportunity to try a lot of variety to try Lethe into, but the one thing I've pretty much noticed throughout the majority of a lot of these fights are Senya is kind of the most annoying unit that you're going to be going into. Mainly because Senya is going to just disrupt your plans with Provoke, because anytime you hit her when she has counterattack, she'll go into you. If you don't have effect resist, you're probably going to get, like, hit for that, and then that's going to just disrupt your flow. However, we have so much tankability going into this, I had nothing to worry about, and I was just slowly eating the team alive. Shazam. It's over. Now, on to the next team here. So this is an Arowell, a Spirit Eye Celine, and a Belian. So what I decided to do was, okay, so I see Spirit Eye Celine, I'm going to bring Senya into that, and I'm going to kill that bitch with additional damage. So what I decided to do first and foremost was, instead of going in with Senya first, because if you manage to land a Provoke with Pyllis, you also CR boost your team. So I did that so I could get the opportunity to go in with Senya and then get hit here. Now, unfortunately, you know, counterattack happens from the Belian. She strips my counterattack buff, but I still have my attack buff. So it's not the end of the world in terms of doing damage. Now, I say that whenever some next level dumb retarded luck shit happens. Don't worry, I'll point it out whenever I see it. And also right there, hey, cool, anti-crit, just doing the work of the gods like it always is. But right here, I was thinking, okay, so I need to S3 with Destina, because if I'm provoked, then it's going to fuck up my plan. Because once again, we haven't really dealt with any shenanigans from Spirit Eye Celine yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can keep provoke locking her. And then I get super lucky here. So that's a dual attack from Senya into Shadow Knight Pyllis. That is Spear of a New Dawn and Rocket Punch Artifact. Yo, that fucking bitch is dead. Like, that is so much additional damage, you are fucked. just gone. And so now that we've dealt with basically the anchor of the team, and in another way of saying the revive mechanics of the team, all that other shit, we've essentially already won. Because, for starters, this is a counter Belian. This is not injury Belian. So, if you had known that, then you could have brought the Roana into this team, and then the team's absolutely free. But, of course, you never know that going into this shit, because nobody ever fucking advertises it or talks about it, because, honestly, it's a lot of fucking work, and... You know, our guild's pretty casual. We don't really talk about that shit unless we see really, really crazy shit, and then sometimes we get blown the fuck out by things, and that's whenever we'll discuss, hey, you should probably not do X. But either way, like I said, this fight's 100% over. Because all we have to deal with is a counter Belian. Sure, we don't have Roana on the team, but we have Shadow Knight Pyllis and Destina. That's essentially 2 anchors, and it's going into counterattack shenanigans. Because you're going into counterattack shenanigans, any counterattack that she does is going to do next to near fucking nothing. And cool, nice shit, Belian. You stripped my counterattack on my Senya again. Cool. But yeah. That's not really even a big deal. Because right there, it's over. So, yay! Round numero uno with Lethe. Going well. Let's see what we can do about round 2. Whenever we get past this first part. So, oddly enough, Spirit Eye Celine was very, very popular in this guild. As was this team. I end up fighting this very team twice. And I essentially do the same thing for both. So yeah, it's Arowell, Spirit Eye Celine, and Savior Adin. So anytime I see Savior Adin, and by the way, that was kind of a wasted S2, because it got rid of the barrier, but they didn't take damage because they had invincibility from the Savior Adin. So, misplay on my part, whatever, fuck it, who cares? So, anytime I see Savior Adin, I always bring a Dark Corvus with Proof of Valor into this shit, just because it's like, I don't want to deal with your fucking dumb bullshit. Especially because I never know if she's ever going to be on Sword of Cycling Seasons, or if she's going to be on Charon's Artifact, or if she's going to be on any and all other particular dodge-based artifact. I don't know. I usually don't even like to test it anymore. Because I was thinking about bringing Zahak into this, but if I'm bringing Zahak into this and I still have to deal with Spirit Eye Celine, I just didn't want to have to deal with it. Like, I could have probably brought in Sinful Angelica, but then I'm just running risks of, hey, what if this is a super hyper-fast Spirit Eye Celine? Those do exist. Just ones that go hyper-fast for the sake of putting out immortality as quickly as possible. They exist. I've seen them. Now, was it probably a good bet to say that it would happen? Probably not. I could have very easily just brought Sinful Angelica into this. But hey, you know what? Fuck it. It's no big deal. And that was the other thing that also sucked. I wanted to bring Last Beast Corinne into this as well. But like I said, Last Beast Corinne doesn't have an extinction-based mechanic, so you would have to do that with Sinful Angelica. And I just was like, it's his mid-game. I don't even know if I really want to deal with the kind of RNG that... Well, it's not even RNG at that point. It's really just a matter of, hey, is this person fast as fuck? I don't know. Nobody fucking said. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go about this safe. And anytime I'm going into light cancer, I bring the dark cancer. Good old Dark Corvus. So, like, you probably already see pretty much what the strategy is just to go through this pretty slowly, use any and all S3s from Dark Corvus to extinct a unit, and then whenever they're extinct, Spirit Eye Celine can't fucking do anything. Because she brings back units that were dead with 1 HP, and they have immortality. However, if they are extinct, they cannot come back. Wow, I feel like such a genius explaining mechanics that everybody knows. But basically, that's all in all the general gist of this. There's really not too much to pay attention to. Any chance you get the opportunity to soul burn with it, which, in all honesty, I think I even delay a few of my S3s into this, which I didn't need to, because anytime you are ever going into multiple light units and you have a Dark Corvus and you're at least confident in your ability to tank the hits from it, by the by, I get a really, really clutch stun right here. This pretty much guarantees that this Spirit Eye Celine's fucked. But, like, anytime you're dealing with multiple light units going into your Dark Corvus and you have general plausibility to assume that they're not going to be on, like, injury set or whatever, you can just let any and all S3s rip, even if you don't have soul burns to do it. Just for the sake of doing damage, because by the time you get your next turn, you're more than likely 1 or even 2 turns away from doing Devil's Descent yet again. Like, that's how fast it builds up on a Dark Corvus if you're ever going into multi-light, which is kind of baffling that, like, light is such, like, a crazy meta as of right now. But also, one thing that I did right there, I actually forgot if DJB could inflict blind if they didn't have a barrier, so I just went to check that real quick, and hey, it turns out that they can. Yay! Now, on to round 2. Welcome to the fun, boys. So, this is Lethe, Roana, and Ocean Breeze Luluca, and I'm going up against my favorite fucking character, Ran, Senya, and I believe Conqueror Lilias. Or no, not Conqueror Lilias, just regular Lilias. So, first and foremost, did you guys see what I just saw? And it had to be pointed out to me after the fact, because I'm a fucking retard. So, the Ran is actually on Silver Rain. So, that means that the Senya already has attack buff. So, then that also means that whenever the Lilias' turn comes through, thankfully we were able to strip that counter, the crit damage buff on her. You're actually going to see some damage. And it was right around here that I began to have the epiphany. Hey guys, I think my Ocean Breeze Luluca sucks ass. Now, it's not the character's fault, it's my fault. The reason why it's my fault is my Ocean Breeze Luluca has like 1600 fucking attack. I highly recommend you don't fucking do that. You should probably equip some much more bulky gear. I didn't, because I am really fucking lazy. But either way, so this is a much, much longer fight where I was attempting to see, okay, what can I do with this character, Lethe, in the sense of she's the only one who's going to be doing damage, who is like a priority target. So I initially thought, okay, the Senya is probably the most annoying target, and also probably the unit that's going to be gone into the most, just due to the fact that she's always going to go into Lethe. I don't have effect res. I'm going to be counterattacked like crazy. This is an annoying Senya at that, with EES1, so big heal here. So a lot of these things that I'm bringing up, my very, very hyper advanced brain isn't even thinking about this shit. Not even. I was just like, oh, maybe we just need to kill the Senya first, and then we'll be fine. The correct solution is to kill the Ran, because this could happen right here. Thankfully, he was blind, but that right there could have resulted in a death break on my Lethe. That would have done a shitload of extra damage, and then you run a very, very high risk of possibly losing the unit because you have death break. And you don't have a reliable cleanse. Your only cleanse is Ocean Breeze Luluca. So it was like, here, I'm getting a little bit antsy, and I'm like, okay, so I need to actually soul burn on Roana, something I almost never do. Something that I also think is an incredibly overpriced soul burn. It's fucking 2 goddamn souls for just putting a barrier on the whole team. It doesn't even heal them. And so I'm just doing that because I'm unsure of who to go for. It was here that I was like, okay, I could go for Senya, go for the Kraken damage, but I could miss. So then I decided, okay, fuck it. We just need to kill Ran, because we almost got completely fucked by that last time he did his S3, because thankfully he missed. If he hit, I could have actually run a very, very real risk of being absolutely fucking deleted. So now I'm just like, okay, so now we just need to kill Ran. Hopefully some just additional damage and all that other shenanigans is going to go into him, and then we'll deal with that as we deal with it. And then we'll go from there. Because the Senya... Or no, not the Senya, but the Lilias isn't too much of a problem as of right now, because she's going to either go into Ocean Breeze or she's going to go into Roana. Unfortunately, she's going into Ocean Breeze the most because, like I said before, my Ocean Breeze has almost no real tank ability. The only real tank ability that she even has is just death buff from her S3, which I'll work on it, guys. I'll fix it eventually. Gearing's hard. But it was here also that I'm starting to realize, okay, so I really don't know how to play this character. Because if you're ever in a situation where you're down to 1 character left, there's no reason to ever use the S3. Because if you build a Lethe really, really fast, and you just prioritize using S1, you gave yourself speed buff. And then whenever you have speed buff on yourself, you just fucking go down that CR bar like a motherfucker because you're so damn fast. Like, speed buff is huge, especially if you're already a fast character and you fucking give yourself speed buff. It's fucking massive. Now, remember whenever I said we had that other team before? It's literally the same team again. Arowell, Savior Adin, and Spirit Eye Celine. So I just like, fuck it. I'll just use the same damn team. Because I was thinking about going into this with, like, Shadow Knight Pyllis, but the reason why I didn't want to do it is because anytime you go into these teams, you have no fucking clue what their stats are. For starters, this whole team's slow as shit. Like really, really slow. I wasn't prepared for that at all. So, because it was so slow, I was actually kind of expecting, oh, damn, maybe the Savior Adin also hits like a fucking truck. Well, let's see the damage. This is no attack buff, so I'm at least expecting something decent. And that's something. Like, that's definitely something going through Proof of Valor. So, maybe I did the right call of not bringing in Shadow Knight Pyllis, but hey, whatever. Dark Corvus is just so fucking broken against light comps. It's just super, super easy to go into. So the reason why I didn't immediately just let loose with the S3 is because I'm a fucking idiot. Because remember what I was saying earlier? How you just let it rip, because you're going to be building so much meter anyway, because you have 3 light units going into your Dark Corvus. So here I correct that problem. It's like, okay, so I'm not going to kill. Fuck it. I'll just go into it anyway. And just a hair off, we don't kill the Arowell. So now the Arowell's dead, but the Arowell is not extinct. So the number one goal now is, okay, so is there anything that we can do to perhaps, say, control the Spirit Eye Celine? That's basically what I'm going for now, because we're not dealing with any, like, barriers or anything anymore. Thankfully, I get myself a nice stun there. So, hoorah! And we're 1 turn away from being able to use Devil's Descent again. And it was, like, right here, there was, like, do I use a boost or not? And I decided not to. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get, like, another Provoke in or a stun. I don't know if I get either, but either way, I got a hit in with DJB, her health is absurdly low, and then we can just guarantee this a kill with Devil's Descent, because it's going to do max damage of like 5k because of the HP limiting system of Spirit Eye Celine. Yay, cool, whatever. And now all we have left is Savior Adin. So, basically, I'm just kind of making a decision of, do I go ahead and just keep going into it? Because the good news is, as long as you have your S3 on DJB, you don't really run a risk of getting killed by AoE shit. Because with the S3 not being used, you have like I think it's a 30% damage reduction effect on critical hits. But like here, she's provoked, and I still have my S2 available, so I don't have to go into her yet. So I'm not too worried yet. And 1 more turn left on Dark Corvus. Bam, now we have Devil's Descent. So we can burn that and go into her willy-nilly. And no need to risk it. We'll just use the S2. It missed. Whatever. Fuck it. We're just burning a turn. And Shazam! Dark Corvus S3. Soul Burn. Get the fuck out of my game! Fucking bitch. Now on to the final match with Lethe. So, here I decide, fuck it, we're going to go full fucking tank. So it's Lethe, Shadow Knight, Pyllis, and Roana into another Senya, Conqueror, Lilias, and Mercedes. So the one thing here that I wanted to try out, this is also a misplay, by the way, because we were apparently obscenely fast. This whole team was slow as shit. Like the Conqueror, Lilias is slow, the Mercedes is slow, the Senya is slow. They're all omega hyper slow. Like hell, look at that HP on that Conqueror Lilias. That thing was built like a tank. So, okay. Basically, all I have to do is just bide my time, eventually go into the Mercedes 2 more times with Lethe, and she's dead. And then all we have to do is just go into the Senya, just bit by bit, with any and all like additional damage effects from Shadow Knight Pyllis, and we're 100% in the clear. Like, because right here, the damage isn't even like that bad. Now, thankfully, I'm pretty sure this was a EE S3 Senya, so she had Gab, and I'm pretty sure that my Pyllis was able to strip it. Super based. Pyllis is the best character. But either way, like I said, all you got to do is just get through that first like little bit, which is why I said the Shadow Knight Pyllis was a misplay at the start to use the S3, because that's like my only form of cleansing, and because of that being gone now, or at least at the very beginning of the fight, I was basically just put on hold and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Because, like, I'm going into Senya first here, and basically your odds of doing good damage to a Senya are 50%, because you could miss. And that's just the way it works. Still pretty decent-ass damage, because it's like, you know, it's over 10k on a skill that just straight up pierces defense. Basically, you know, this is Blue Huayang to a degree. in at least a little bit of a way. But, yeah, the Senya is, like, close to dead. I think I just need to go into Mercedes once, and thankfully I'm not provoked now. I can just do it. So I'm just going to go for the kill on Senya, so I don't have to deal with provokes or any of that other shit. So now all we have left to deal with is Mercedes, and I'm pretty sure all I need is one turn on Lethe. Just go into this Mercedes, and it's fucking over. Because... like, hell, she's at half health, and this is gonna do, like, 20 fucking K or some shit? Like, yeah, I don't care, you're dead. So, the one big thing that I've learned over the course of, like, just using her 3 times is pretty much, like, if you want to just focus... like, this is usually what you want to do, is you pick your target first, go into it with an S1, hopefully you'll get your next turn very, very quickly, and then you soul burn the S3 because you get a free one, just for free, because that's fair. And by the by, this is also a really, really high effectiveness in Conqueror Lilias. But, yeah, then after you soul burn the S3, then you just go in with another S1, and Shazam, you have 3 turns immediately on a target, and you can just crack in them immediately. Super fucking based. So all in all, the Kuudere blue-haired waifu with tan skin, yeah, kind of like her. She's actually not bad at all. Pretty fun. And, I don't know, I guess I assume you guys are probably wanting me to talk about the balance patch or something. I feel nothing. So, yeah, here I'll run through it fucking quick. So, here's Rule. Rule got buffs. They are buffs, yes. Are they going to help her? I highly doubt it. Just healing stuff and combat readiness stuff. Okay, cool. Lionheart Sarmia. She probably got some of the best stuff here. Combat readiness on whenever it's far from over activates, and her S3 got a damage boost. Okay, cool. Then Haste. He's gonna do more death breaks, and his cooldown on his S3 got reduced by 1 turn. Okay, cool. And then there's Tenebrea. I am now PvE goddess, and I do restrict, and I have 1 turn cooldown reduction on my S3, and instead of dual attack, I now do effectiveness on my imprint. Okay, whatevs. And then there's more. Cool. Fucking Sacred Blessing actually works now. Holy shit. Who'd have fucking thought? And then his cooldowns are 3 turns instead of 4. Amazing. Silk, she does damage now. Who fucking uses Silk? And then Soothin, he's probably going to get a spec change. That's about it. And you know what? I already ran out of time. Fuck it. Hey, if you like this video, leave a like. Subscribe.